Ask yourself the damn question. Is winning the only thing to you?
Sports today are not just played on the field. They're played every day, online, all over the world, by sports fans just like you.
Don't you dare breathe. That won't get you anywhere. If you don't think you're a winner, you don't belong here.
The Star Fantasy League Show puts you in control of your own team. Find out who to sit, who to start, how to play, and have your daily fantasy sports questions answered with your host, Jonathan Sprong, and co-host SFL CEO Zach Stanley and Nick Stablenko. The Star Fantasy League Show is on the air now.
Hello and welcome to the Star Fantasy League Show here on 105.5 The Team in Rochester. I am your host, Jonathan Sprung, joined, as always, by SFL CEO Zach Stanley.
Beautiful day outside, Jonald.
You could not be more wrong.
No, I couldn't.
No.
But it is a beautiful day because week 3 starts today.
Yeah, we managed to get you through the dark days during the week. Those are Tuesday and Wednesday, which is days you just hate to come into the studio. You're in a very somber mood because football will not be on your TV, but it will happen to be on our TVs tonight.
It makes me glum. I need NBA to start now.
Yeah.
Or NHL, that's fine too.
I love how we complain. We wait for football and wait
or
and wait.
Or MLB playoffs, that'll work.
Yeah, I think the most excited person to see NHL start is Nick Stablenko, right?
Yeah, but I also enjoy Tuesdays because waiver wire, and it's just insanity. Then I start throwing out trades, and people just don't take them because they just don't. They don't want to deal.
Nick's offering me crap trades.
I would like
offering crap trades. They're good trades.
All right, let's be honest. There's a lot of the Star Fantasy League's office. We're in some football pools together, and I believe there was a proposed trade made by one Seth Young to you, Zach, that I would like you to discuss on the air.
Well, Seth wanted to talk about the overall social upside of his trade.
Yeah.
And the fact that his trade included Super Bowl rings.
Yeah.
The trade was his Eli Manning for my Colin Kaepernick.
And yeah, please explain what actually came with trading you Eli Manning.
Well,
perceived. The perceived.
Yes, not the actual value because we know Eli Manning. Eli Manning has no life value.
The fact that he's a Manning.
Correct.
That he has 2 rings.
Yeah. He said he was a rap and television superstar.
Yes, he did. He did say he had commercial appeal.
I kind of let that one just squeak by and didn't really pay attention to it.
And he plays.
Well, I wouldn't have paid attention to anything.
He plays in the biggest market in the world. You're not excited about a guy that plays in New Jersey, but
I
New
woke
York?
up this morning to that pathetic excuse for a trade.
Come on.
And of course, he's just having a great time with it.
Yeah, you have to admit, the people in every single league, there's somebody like that who just is the clown of the league, and Seth Young just happens to be the clown in most fantasy.
Well, he's actually pretty good at it. I will say that.
At being the clown?
Yeah, he is pretty good at being a clown.
Yeah, he told me of some.
Yeah, I mean, his team name is Sammy Dropkins.
I like that name. I think that's
doesn't
hilarious.
even make sense. The guy catches with his elbow. He can catch anything.
I think the pun is pretty funny.
I like it. I'm not gonna lie. You just take it personally.
In a draft full of Bills fans, it wasn't exactly
well received.
Well received.
Yeah, I didn't think so. All right, you know what else wasn't well received? Yet another domestic violence arrest since the last time we recorded the show. I feel like we're cursed here.
It's every day.
Every day I want to talk about something uplifting in the opening segment. We wanted to start off the show talking about tonight's Thursday night football game, but guess what? We have to talk about not only a story that's about domestic violence, but it combines Ray Rice and Adrian Peterson's stories into one. It's 2-in-1.
And an ex-Steeler.
Yeah, that's true.
I hate Jonathan Dwyer. I don't want to talk about him.
You hate all ex.
I didn't like. No, that's not true. Fast Willie Parker. Now I like Fast Willie Parker.
Fast Willie Parker. That's great.
He was bad. He was pretty bad.
If everything that Jonathan Dwyer is accused of, if that's all true, then it's absurd.
What do you mean if it's all true? If any of it's true.
If any of it's true. Yeah. I just have a problem with the NFL rushing to judgment on a lot of these. If it's true, it's true, and the guy deserves to be punished. I just feel like a player should go through the legal system before being punished by the league.
Yeah,
I think the league, or at least the NFL Players Association, should be standing behind the players to some degree.
Yeah,
Do you think they should be standing behind Adrian Peterson?
Yes.
I do not.
Well,
Why?
It's going to be like 2 weeks until his first trial. This basically is the death of due process is what it is.
Because he essentially admitted to beating the crap out of his son.
Okay, why did he beat the crap out of his son?
I don't know. He's 4 years old. I have no idea why he would do that.
He didn't beat the crap out of his son. He did not beat the crap out of his son.
Did you see the marks on his hands trying to defend himself from getting hit?
Okay. You know what? We discussed this yesterday. We're not. I don't want to get into it again.
Yeah, let's
stay
away.
I've already said my piece.
Yeah, let's stay away from the past with Adrian Peterson. Let's move on to the Jonathan Dwyer thing because there's a lot more riding on this one because there were some really weird things in this report about potentially like locking himself in the bathroom, sending like suicidal texts to his wife and showing like a picture of a knife. There's some underlying maybe mental issues here that I think the league should be more interested in than the actual like physical violence aspect.
I mean, is it just what's like the stuff that has been going on lately that has driven the evidence of these cases to outpour more? Because we've seen these cases in the past. The players keep playing, but we don't see a lot of what happened or hear a lot about what happened. Now we're getting exposed to these things. He's admitting that he locked himself in the bathroom and punched the walls, but he's not admitting that he actually punched her.
This evidence wouldn't be coming to light if it wasn't for recent events. And I also think that the magnitude of star power involved with this also brings a lot of weight with it. Ray Rice, Adrian Peterson, these two guys are faces of their individual teams. So I think immediately the public outcry starts up even more because these guys are recognizable. Whereas, you get an offensive lineman or maybe even a backup offensive lineman who beats his wife up. That probably doesn't make the news as much. It's just not as sensational. People just don't recognize the name as well. And it's unfortunate. It shouldn't be that way, but that's just the way. That's the way you sell papers.
I think
even with Greg Hardy, why didn't we hear about this as much? Because it's a defensive player.
Honestly, but aside from the people in this room or real strong NFL fans, could you really recognize the name Greg Hardy and say, yeah, he's a defensive lineman for the
outside of our circles? Probably not. They probably couldn't even tell you what position he played.
It's just not. I mean, the run-of-the-mill Sunday quarter or the Sunday fan just doesn't know these players.
So do you think that these stories in the past, say a year ago, I don't recall seeing any stories like these? Like possible domestic violence disputes.
How? There's since 2000, there's been over 700 arrests in the NFL.
Hold on. Do you remember there was a thing?
No,
okay,
I'm not saying,
because they just don't come to mind.
No, I'm not saying I don't recall seeing like the actual cases or disputes. I'm saying I don't recall seeing such in-depth detail of what's going on. I mean,
that's what Nick's saying.
When you see all this, if this comes to light publicly, and these accusations are so in-depth and they're so intricate in what happened and the different things that went on with text messages and all that stuff, as a team, how do you not just put this guy out of team activities?
Right here, money talks. Until the money got taken away, the NFL didn't have to really address this issue.
That is true. Yeah,
I said this about the whole gay rights issue. How they finally put out commercials on the NFL draft. I think they go hand in hand. I think if the money is there, the NFL will step up. It's just that simple. And maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong, but that's the way that a capitalistic society operates.
All right,
if money drives the entire issue.
Here's my question I want to ask both of you. Now that we have 3 different cases of how NFL teams have dealt with these issues, one case of not acting at all, San Francisco. One case of suspending, no, wait, we're just kidding, deactivate him, and Adrian Peterson. And now Arizona, who didn't even wait for anything. They said, oh, he was arrested? Yeah, he's gone. So this is 3 completely different things.
We're talking about post-Ray Rice. Is that what we're talking about?
Well, Ray Rice, he was...
I think
story was all over the place.
I think you really have to draw the line at Ray Rice. I think you have to say, Ray Rice's incident brought this to a whole new level.
No, but I'm saying, which version is right? Do you immediately deactivate? Do you... wait for the league to step in? What are you supposed to do as a team here? Or you wait for Roger Goodell, who is literally hiding in the shadows right now? I have not even heard from him recently. Where is he?
You really want to hear from him?
It would be nice to see, hey...
I don't want to hear from him. I want to hear him say, I'm no longer the commissioner
That's what I'm going to say. I want to hear him say, this is too much. I've clearly lost control of this league. We've hired somebody to step in my absence. So just get out.
Obviously, they need to redo some parts of the CBA. They have to.
The National Free Fall League?
Yes, there you go. That's good. I like that.
That's it. It's Keith Olbermann, so I can't claim that myself.
Oh,
okay, you do realize that most of the people listening probably don't also listen to Keith Olbermann? You could have stolen that.
Well, that's
he
not right.
He has integrity.
I'm honest.
He has integrity.
Unlike Roger Goodell.
So I don't know. What is the right way to do this? I don't think the league should step in with disciplinary action until the legal system has taken its toll. But at the same time, if the team itself wants to deactivate Adrian Peterson so that he can handle his off-the-field issues, I guess that's acceptable. I just think that we're really we're kind of crossing a thin line right now. It's a tough call.
I can agree
it's
with
not
that.
an easy
I
call.
think that I think you're right. I think it's related to the league. The teams can pretty much do whatever they want. If I had this come out, Jonathan Dwyer's on my team. This comes out, and I'm looking at all the accusations that are popping up. I don't think it's good for the locker room. I don't think it's good for the team. I don't think it's good for the fan base to have this guy playing on Sunday, and I make that decision for my team. Whether the NFL should be allowed to step in and say that somebody that hasn't been prosecuted, somebody that hasn't been decided upon, should be out of the game, should be taking a break from the league, it's muddy waters.
It is.
Yeah,
Very.
I think we need to cross a thin line and move from this case to actual football that's going to be happening tonight. Tampa Bay travels to Atlanta for, like we said before, all divisional contests on Thursday night now moving forward, which is probably the smartest decision they've made for these Thursday night games.
This is very exciting. I mean, the Thursday night games overtime.
The way you said that wasn't exciting.
Yeah, you seem...
This is extremely...
No, dude, Berman will be excited. Berman's excited about this game. Of course. Thank you, Chris.
No, it is great. I think it's a smart move by the league. The Thursday night games historically have been pretty low scoring. I think that's pretty much because of the short week. Mm-hmm. But having this be a divisional matchup each time, at least you have a chance of having a good game.
I think they should go back to the special Saturday presentation of Thursday night football, because then at least they have some time to prepare.
That's what the
name is catchy.
That's what the Thanksgiving Saturday game is.
Thursday night's presentation of Saturday football. It's supposed to happen on Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's really catchy. It's got a nice ring to it.
You know, they don't have to put together a new song or anything like that.
Nope.
Are you
Just
ready
roll
for
it
some...
out as is.
Exactly.
Yeah, you ready for some maybe Thursday football on Saturday? Maybe? I don't know.
I think this is going to be a great matchup, and I think that the Bucs are probably going to be a little bit underrated. I definitely picked the Falcons to win this game, but at the same time, this division, they're always playing each other hard. They always play each other hard, and Atlanta's defense isn't all that good.
This might be one of the dumbest things I'm going to say early in the season. Is this a must-win for Tampa Bay? Because I see their schedule after this. This game at Atlanta, then at Pittsburgh, then at New Orleans. If they lose all three of those games, they are 0-5, and their season is pretty much over.
Yeah.
This is the most winnable of the three games, I think.
You can't come out of the gate 0-3.
Yeah.
That's just the bottom line. The likelihood of them making the playoffs if they lose tonight. But just look at this team overall. I mean, to actually think that they're going to make it, I don't think there's any way.
Weren't we saying there's a possibility before the season that this team could possibly make it to like an 8-8 level?
Maybe 8-8. That doesn't mean they're going to the playoffs.
That's one win away from possibly being a playoff team
I think
in
they're
the
going to
NFC.
be like 6-10.
That's not.
You think they're going to the playoffs,
No.
Teddy Bear?
All right, after
Teddy
the
Bear
break.
thinks they're going to the playoffs.
No.
After the
didn't say
break,
that.
we are talking more about Thursday Night Football's matchup and John's mailbag, and you're listening to the Star Fantasy League Show on 105.5 The Team.
The Star Fantasy League Show. Information is key to being a successful fantasy team owner, and the guys have all the updated info you need right now. Okay, fantasy sports fans.
There's a letter in your mailbox.
Time to dig into Donald's mailbag for your questions and comments.
Read the mail, read the mail, read the mail.
Jump in the game. Send your questions and comments to the Star Fantasy League's team by tweeting at SFL Show.
That is right. You can be part of John's mailbag by tweeting us at SFL Show, but we just started talking about Thursday night's Atlanta Tampa Bay matchup, so we need to talk about that a little bit more before we get to the mailbag. So the biggest news from tonight's game is Doug Martin will not be playing. Or, sorry, most likely will not be playing, which, let's be honest, he shouldn't play.
What?
On a short week, what's the smart? There's no smart decision there.
I think they need to get him back on the field if they have any chance of winning, personally. I don't think that, the game that Bobby Rainey had was kind of an anomaly. He had one of those games last year.
He had like 3 of these games where he was like over 100 or 120 combined yards. He actually filled in pretty well in the absence of Doug Martin last season, although a lot of those games were kind of wishy-washy, and that season was pretty much over. So,
it looks like they're saying he might not play.
Who, Doug Martin? Yeah, he's not playing. That's what I just said.
You just said that he shouldn't play.
No, I said he's not. There was a report out like 2 hours ago that said he wasn't
he
going to
say
play.
Yeah, no, he did. He said he's unlikely to play.
Yeah.
He's going to test out his knee. They said he's unlikely to play.
I don't think it matters at all, to be honest. This team is in complete shambles.
Shambles?
They're
Yeah.
done.
I don't know about shambles.
You don't think this is a team that's just starting slowly with a lot of new
they
players?
They lost to Derek Anderson. Sure, they're starting with a lot of new players. The, darkest before the dawn or whatever crap you want to say. It doesn't.
Zach's in a mood right now. You can tell.
It doesn't freaking matter. They're coming into Atlanta against a team that can absolutely torch them, and I think that Atlanta's defense is actually going to step up a little bit tonight against the team that is having trouble moving the ball anyways.
Well, okay, this is going to be a fun little matchup because Atlanta can't stop the ball and Tampa can't move the ball.
They've put up 31 points in 2 games. How can we expect this game to be even close? What is the line on this game?
I don't have it currently.
7,
I think it's
8?
I think it's 6.5 for Atlanta, I believe.
Divisional credits. That is purely divisional credits right there.
I mean, I think that there's some fantasy relevance for the Bucks in this one, but
no, we got to talk about that later. We're going to break down the rest of the 8 games.
All right, calm down.
Yeah, don't you jump the gun here.
Sorry, I overstepped the sacred bounds of.
It's written on this piece of paper.
Discussion.
Look at this rundown. You will not overstep your bounds.
I don't can't discuss any fantasy value right now for this game.
Sure.
I don't think the
really
Bucks
care.
are completely out of it, is what I was trying to say. I don't think they're completely out of it. I think that a division rival does dictate a little bit of a closer score.
Do you see that schedule? They lost to the Rams.
No, I'm not talking. I'm talking about this game. Just this game.
Oh, okay.
Just in the game. I don't think they're completely out of the game.
Atlanta legitimately didn't look like they could stop anybody. Let's be honest. They did play New Orleans and Cincinnati in the first 2 weeks. So
yeah, Cincinnati without A.J. Green after the first quarter.
That is true.
So they couldn't stop Giovanni Bernard or Jeremy Hill.
No, I think it's more than evident that they can't stop a good offense, but this is not a good offense.
I think they have pieces that might be able to do some damage. Josh McCown hasn't looked terrible for the first 2 games.
He got okay.
He's been okay.
His fantasy numbers have been okay because he's gotten 2 rushing touchdowns in the last game, and then he got 2 passing in the first
game. He's
game.
thrown for over 200 yards in each of the first 2 games. So Vincent Jackson is going to be able to do some damage.
What is his completion percentage? Vincent Jackson had like 50 yards.
Yeah, Vincent Jackson has 87 yards total in 2 games.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
I think you're right. I think
I think they're going to have something.
It is possible that the Bucks could put up some decent yards tonight against a Falcons defense that hasn't been able to stop anyone. I just think that the Falcons offense will completely overwhelm this.
Yeah, they should be able to roll to an easy win here. They're at home, and they have a defense that hasn't been able to stop anybody. Not even a backup has-been quarterback. I get that.
I'm really worried here about Roddy White being Mr. Decoy again. He was not practicing a few days this week and said he's going to give it a go.
I want to wait till next week. I agree with you on that because last season we had to deal with all this
for
crap.
9 straight weeks.
But this is a short week, so I'm not surprised that they hold out one of their stars, even if he's just a little sore. So I want to wait till next week on that one. He's going to have an entire, 10, 11 days to get ready?
I think he'll have a fine game tonight.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about him.
Why play him on a short week? Why?
Because
especially after last season.
16 games, dude. You have to get a win.
If he is able to play, he needs to play.
Every game matters because once you get to 10 wins, there's going to be a couple other teams right there with you. You have to get to 11 or 12. You have to get that extra win. Every single game is going to count. If they lose this, not looking good.
That's true.
They can make the playoffs at 10-6.
Absolutely. But you would rather be 11-5.
That's true.
And Roddy White could be the difference between 10-6 and 11-5.
You think the Falcons are going 11-5?
No. I'm just saying.
He's just making hypothetical speeches. God.
Well, somebody was absolutely wrong about the Atlanta Falcons beating the Saints over here. So
wait.
Still got to call
we've
in
got
on that
We've
one.
got a whole season for this.
We did game by game. I think that was how it was.
All right, I need to move.
Play the tape. Play the tape.
We don't have that technology. We need to move this along. We're going to talk about fantasy implications from this game in the last segment after this one because it's time for John L's mailbag. A little belated, but we're talking mailbag.
Yeah.
All right. But we already did the music. We don't need to. Here, ready? Go ahead, sing the music. Ask it. No, that's the intro.
Mailbag.
Lovely. All right, Darren J. writes, with the NFL and the NFLPA coming to terms on a new drug testing policy, how do you feel about players having their previous suspensions either shortened or dropped completely?
I don't like it. I just don't. I don't think you should backtrack. There were rules in place before. We changed the rules, which is probably the right thing to do.
Would you call this flip-flopping?
Yes, I would.
There we go.
That is the definition of flip-flopping.
What's the definition of a
pun?
pun?
So if you're serving 5 years in jail for marijuana and all of a sudden marijuana laws go out the window, you shouldn't be released? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. No. I think there are
what
laws
are
in
you
place.
talking about?
There are laws in place that say that's not possible.
What laws are in place?
What do you mean? Listen, I didn't go to law school, but I know that's a fact. Okay?
I'll just say
that is a fact.
I do love when the Star Fantasy League show just goes off on these tangents that involve apparently real life law.
I object.
I plead the fifth.
Yeah.
You should be pleading the fifth here.
So if marijuana goes completely legal, everybody should stay in jail.
Okay, this is not a conversation that needs to be had on the air. It makes absolutely
no
relevance.
I think it is relevant.
It is a good question.
This is the NFL. They do
because
whatever
the reality
they want.
is that if somebody gets suspended this week or gets the lower amount of marijuana usage that doesn't allow them to get suspended or doesn't make them get suspended, and somebody else is sitting on the sidelines while they're out playing, that is crap. Let them play.
Okay, then what is the deal with Josh Gordon?
Congratulations, everybody.
Hold on. Josh Gordon, we still have no news about him. Why is he not? I haven't actually seen his suspension be considered.
What do you mean?
Down.
Yeah, Josh Gordon's
It's
back
okay.
in week 12.
It
right?
is official now?
Yeah.
Because I've been looking for it and I hadn't seen it.
They have a week 11 bye.
They have some. We have to assume they have some bye between now and then, so it would be week 12.
Oh, so it's 10
10
weeks.
games.
It's 10 games. So if they have a bye at any point, it's got to be in somewhere in there.
Okay.
So it would be week 11, then 12. There you go. Ta-da.
I was a little. It was all a little weird to me, though. These new rules. Did you see all these?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it is. It's
Like
they're doing
2 to 6 games.
Yeah, I got
for
it here.
The first
I have it right
offense.
here. Yeah. New testing penalties. First positive, you get a 2-game if it's a masking agent they find. 4 games if actual steroids, stimulants, or HGH is found, and 6 games for trying to actually manipulate the test. So if they find some kind of weird deal that you actually did something wrong.
So the Wizinator's out of play.
Yeah.
what we're saying.
Well, no, the Wizardinator gets you 6 games, but actually testing positive only gets you 4.
Do we have a number on how they measure marijuana threshold?
No.
They're like, it's way
Okay,
high
hold on.
now.
Yeah, hold on. Do you think?
So does that mean if I did it yesterday, I'm good? Or
No.
what?
It means hold on. You need to stop at 6.5 joints, and you're good.
Yeah.
Josh Gordon's
exactly.
like, I could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can
what?
live with that. Yeah.
I want to see.
Seems like we've come to a reasonable agreement.
Just give me a hit. Just
yeah,
give me a hit.
I want to see Josh Gordon reach for comment and be like, "Yeah, I can stand under that threshold now."
You know that I mean, it's just it kind of strikes me as odd that the NFL has taken this long when a drug like that has been decriminalized in 35 states. So
including
public opinion has clearly stated that they don't see marijuana as a violent drug or
performance enhancer.
Well, it's certainly not a performance enhancer.
No.
Whoever thought that obviously
never
just
did it in
grew
their
up
life. Yeah.
somewhere that didn't. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, maybe all the people driving under the influence of weed can get a little threshold too. Just give them all a threshold.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just make this threshold.
Yeah,
universal.
where did this threshold even come from? Who Roger Goodell seems like he thought this word was cool. He's like, let's just do a threshold for it. What is he talking about?
It's like a percentage of
oh,
THC.
get out of
It is.
here!
It's a percentage
Stop
of THC.
with that.
It's in your system.
What's my BMC? Blood marijuana content? No.
Lovely. All right, we need to move on because this whole thing's
THC.
ridiculous. I need to talk about this story. I'm glad we only have a few minutes because I want to spend the rest of the time talking about this. Marvin L. writes, with so many negative stories dragging down the NFL, it's pretty much everything we've talked about. How is it possible that such a heartwarming story like Devin Stills manages to slip through the cracks?
Well,
are you guys familiar with the story?
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that you chose that one and not the recent one, the Steelers and Ravens
It's
guys.
Chris Kimiatu's brother,
Yeah,
right?
that's it, yeah.
But okay, that involves 2 guys. One's already retired, one who is retiring. That's okay. But this is a team going above and beyond something they needed to do.
true.
Although, to be fair, okay, for those of you not familiar with the backstory, Devin still has a 4-year-old daughter who's battling neuroblastoma, which is a rare kind of cancer. Anyways, they cut him from the team, or they allowed him to go be with his daughter during her cancer treatments. They ended up cutting him. They signed him back to the practice squad, allowing him to still get treatment for her and still get a paycheck. And then they actually called him up to the team, and he played in last week's game. So on top of that, they also listed his jersey for $100 with 100% of the proceeds going to children's research.
So the question was, how did this slip through the cracks?
Yeah.
What's the controversy? I love this story. I really, really love this story. But unfortunately, the reason that it fell through the cracks is because there's nothing for people to argue about. If you think that this is a bad story, you're a bad person. So this is just an amazing story, and unfortunately, that's just not what our society wants to talk about.
Why don't we see somebody with a 95% chance of not surviving cancer on the news when they actually survive cancer, but we see somebody shooting somebody.
I agree.
Yeah, it's
I hate
ridiculous.
it. It sucks, but that's what our society
reality.
deems as
Well, the worst
noteworthy.
part, did you see? People are following the story because of the $100 jerseys, they've already sold 5,000 plus. So it's $500,000, including. Listen to this: Sean Payton bought 100 personally.
Yep.
Not on that team. He coaches a different team, and he donated all the jerseys he bought to Cincinnati Children's Hospital.
That's fantastic.
Why is this not a thing? They didn't lead off SportsCenter. I didn't even.
It's going to be on E60 or something
Yeah,
like that.
hold on. That's the problem. I didn't see it until the 50th minute of SportsCenter.
It's going to be a little Sunday special.
Yep.
That makes me sad.
It'll be on Sunday Countdown. It'll have a nice little 10, 15 minutes.
Hold on. Is Chris Carter going to ask to move it along during this segment? Is he going to yell at Ray Lewis for being insensitive?
They can come out with news and say, this is great, this is happening, but there's no, hey, so what do you think about this? Let's analyze exactly what happened here.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what the possibilities are for why this
There's
could
no
have happened.
differing opinions. There's just no difference of opinion.
Here's
There's
my question.
nothing to discuss for
Yeah,
them.
since we've gone onto these like pregame shows that are like 3 hours, why can't we just break down games anymore? They need to be like the outside stories that relate to these games.
No, I think that it's
too
important.
much.
No, I think that it's important to discuss societal issues, especially stemming from athletics.
Do you really want Ray Lewis being the one to be at the forefront of these conversations?
That's a different question altogether. No, but
That's what I'm saying. The people on these like pregame shows just have no clue what they're talking about half the time.
I don't agree with that. Come on, that's
I'm
not
sorry.
true at all.
I'm going after Ray Lewis. Just
Haven't
as
you
much
listened
as
to Chris
possible.
Berman talk about leadership?
Leadership. That might have been one of the greatest conversations I've ever heard. All right, coming after the break, we're talking his second half of the fantasy games for Week 3. Fantasy implications. Football, finally. And you also the Star Fantasy League show on 105.5 The Team.
Play fantasy sports for cash prizes. Join the top daily and weekly fantasy leagues in the country at starfantasyleagues.com. Now, back to the Star Fantasy League show with Donald, Teddy Bear 2, and the Deucey Moose. Only on the Team.
That is right. We're done talking about positive things on the show, right? We're done. You're only allowed to talk about positive stories for like 2 minutes a day.
I got a lot of positivity coming up.
Do you? Mm-hmm. Ooh, I'm excited. What about? Oh, about the fantasy matchups that we're going to talk about?
Yeah, the Colts are playing the Jaguars.
That might be something exciting we're talking about. But yet again, Nick just jumps the gun and moves to whatever game he wants to talk about.
Sorry, once again, I do not understand the sacred rules of radio hosting.
Okay. Do you remember today's Thursday, right?
Yes.
Is there a game happening today?
There is.
We're going to break down that game first because logically that would make sense, right?
All right, go Packers.
Oh, God. See, Nick, we need to give him a crash course. Do you want to go through like Journalism 101?
I do not want to crash into anything.
Actually, did you take journalism?
Yeah, I went to Newhouse. Come on now.
I also took a journalism course.
I did not.
Oh.
But somehow I'm the soundest person here on the radio.
That's to be determined.
Is that you or Talking Head Zach?
Oh, I like Talking Head Zach. Definitely went to journalism
Talking
school.
Head Zach should
I
definitely.
am here as the voice.
The disembodied voice.
I've really
just
got
ahead.
to apply to be an announcer for one of the local teams.
Sure,
that'd be pretty
do
cool.
it. All right, we got to talk about this first game. It's coming up tonight. We talked quickly about some guys that could potentially have some impact. I think Bobby Rainey, personally, for the value on StarFantasyLeagues.com is kind of in that conversation just based on his salary alone.
Yeah, but if Doug Martin gets in the game at all, if he does play, it says he is unlikely to play. So he hasn't been ruled out.
Ready? Disclaimer. If Doug Martin plays.
Assume.
Huh?
John's going to assume.
You know what happens when you assume, Zach?
You're assuming that he is out.
Yes.
However,
He might not be.
Yes.
If he is in, he's in the top 20 for fantasy production
Doug Martin?
this week. No, Bobby Rainey.
So you're saying if Doug Martin's out?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And for his price, he's pretty much a no-brainer, somewhere in the flex area, right?
Sure.
I'm okay with that.
Everybody's torching Atlanta.
Yeah. Do you trust any? Because I think Josh McCown could be decent in this game, but his price, I don't like. I like a value quarterback around 12 and under or 13 and under. He's around 15,000. I don't know. There's other guys in this value range, like Tom Brady, around the same price. I like more than somebody like Josh McCown.
Far from sumptuous at 15,700.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say is that there is a good chance they'll be playing from behind, so he could throw a whole heck of a lot.
A good chance. Try a great chance.
Okay.
Yeah, try that.
There's a great chance that they will be playing from behind. Sorry that I screwed up, John.
That was written on the rundown, by the way. Great chance.
Lost to say
Look,
great.
Great chance. Anybody else? I would consider both of the wide receivers for Tampa, maybe. I mean, one of these guys has to have a big game. They've both been just like sputtering with McCown.
Well, I would feel much more comfortable putting in Julio Jones as a top play.
Yeah.
Because he could just absolutely crush this defense.
I agree. Another expensive guy.
What's
15,000.
Roddy White at?
He's probably not playing, so I didn't really put.
He is playing.
If he is, he's going to be.
How can you say he's
going
not
to be
playing?
a corpse?
He's definitely.
Oh my
that
God,
is
a corpse?
An absolute load of crap.
I'm sorry.
That is just unbelievable.
I was a fan
He's
of.
just burned. He got burned.
Thank
last
you.
year.
There you
That's
go.
all you
I was just going to say, I'm a scorned.
How many times has John preached to me that you can't just let a guy burn you and then forget about him forever?
Yeah,
Here he is.
Hold on, I may be a hypocrite.
Flip-flop.
No, that's a hyprocrite.
That's
actually.
a flip-flop.
That's me being a major hypocrite. All right, anybody else we're interested in this game? I do agree. Julio Jones, especially if Roddy White's hampered in any way, is a monster
I think
play.
Vincent Jackson is definitely worth a look.
Yeah.
He's at 10,200. We all know the production that he's capable of. He could get 2 touchdowns in this game. And when you have that kind of upside possibility, it's definitely worth a shot, especially if you're one of the guys that's looking in, if your goal, which I wouldn't necessarily advise this, but if your goal in playing one of the Thursday contests at Star Fantasy Leagues is to get in some of the players from the Thursday game,
yeah, a lot of
which
people do
happens
that.
because
Yeah.
people want a little action on the
Yeah.
line, and then they get a mix of different players in there. They do a different lineup for Sunday. So that's not so bad. I would put in Vincent Jackson. I think he's got all the upside in the world. His value has come down significantly, and he could have a great game.
Yeah,
he's still the top guy.
He's a guy who should be close to Julio Jones in price, but he's 5,000 less right now.
Where's
So,
Mike Evans been all year?
the same place Vincent Jackson's been. We
That's
don't know.
what I mean.
Yeah, they have exactly the same stats. They're 1 yard apart.
Except Vincent Jackson has a lot more targets.
Yeah. No, it's only 2 more. It's 16 to 14.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're really close. Surprisingly.
That is surprising.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the second game, which is the one Nick definitely wants to talk about. Indy at Jacksonville. This game has lots of fantasy goodness, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reggie Wayne has absolutely torched Jacksonville historically. He's coming off a little bit of a down game. That should help out a little bit with his price. Sitting at 11,000, if you look at the guys around him, beautiful, I would say.
I would say Chad Henne's got to be in the talk for a value quarterback. I think that Jacksonville, another one, they're probably going to be playing from behind, and these 2 teams actually really, whenever they come together, it's really not just a set matchup. Andrew Luck doesn't blow this team away, so I wouldn't put him in the conversation. But I think Chad Henne's definitely worth a look.
I really wanted to take a look at Toby Gerhart, but he is so run of the mill that I just can't even touch him.
Well, not even that. He averages 2 yards per carry.
Yeah, he does
behind
nothing.
That atrocious offensive line.
But a value running back that I do like in this contest is Ahmad Bradshaw.
Yeah, definitely.
Under 7,000. If he's getting red zone touches, which especially if Indy's up in this game, I think he's going to get a bulk of the carries. He's probably going to be the grinded out guy, and that's easy production for him. He catches the ball too.
I think everybody is aware of what occurred on Monday night, and that's not to say that Trent Richardson played bad. I thought he played his best game that he has played so far in a Colts uniform. Ahmad Bradshaw looked great. He looked on a mission. He's the guy that is getting the catches out of the backfield. He's the guy that they're using on third downs. I think he's got the biggest opportunity to put up big stats, and that's a great price.
Trent Richardson makes me sad. If you call that his best game, he had 2 fumbles in that game. Both of them should have been lost. Reggie Wayne got really lucky to get that.
Not going to get into it with
He's
you,
not.
John.
He's not the chronic fumble guy, though.
Yeah, look good.
Oh, stop it.
I love that.
Just move on.
It sets Nick off every time
Just
I mention
move
that.
on.
All right, you know what we should do?
Hater.
Let's move on. Oakland at New England. New England is favored by 14.5 in this game. So guess what? They're probably gonna be ahead at some point in this game.
Yeah, I mean,
This is the eliminator pick, right? This week, I'm assuming the mass eliminator pick.
that could be, yeah.
Yeah.
The Patriots defense might be worth paying the price tag for. I would definitely say that. I don't know, where are they at now? They're definitely getting up there. They're performing like one of the top defenses.
3,600.
Yeah,
No, that's not that
that's
ex-
not
that's
too
not
bad.
that expensive.
That's not too bad at all. So I have them as my top defense this week against Oakland. They're throwing a lot of picks. Carr's throwing a lot of picks back there. And Shane Vereen, I think, is definitely worth a look. Ridley,
How do you trust him?
How can you gauge which week Ridley's going to do well when they're going to keep giving him
can't.
the ball? I love Shane Vereen this week, though. I think he could easily get in the top 10 running backs on PPR.
It just makes me nervous because I think that they're going to hand the ball off a lot to Ridley.
Yep.
I think they're going to do it again.
It's going to happen.
But once he fumbles that ball, then
That's why
we'll see.
I agree with Zach. I actually do like Shane Vereen as the number 1 overall running back in this contest over Ridley.
And let me
They're the
just
same
say,
price. They're the exact same price.
This whole Gronkowski thing is just driving me absolutely nuts.
Yep.
I think I have him in 2 leagues, and it's just driving me crazy
Although
that they're not giving him more snaps.
To be fair, in daily fantasy, he's all the way down at 10,000. I think that is great value for him, but they're going to be up big in this game. Do you think they pull back his snaps mainly because they're going to be up?
Yes.
Well, and not only that, but there's 2 different teams that you should really be looking at. If you're a head coach, you should have a team for your regular season and a team for your postseason, and I think they're just trying to keep him healthy.
So you're saying this is like the Spurs where they kind of rest their guys, they go a little bit slow during these crappy
then
portions
you
of the
ramp
schedule.
it up in the postseason.
Yeah,
I mean,
except he's not ancient. He's just extremely injury prone.
Yep.
He didn't start playing a heavy amount of snaps until week 5 last year.
Yep.
So I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up being the benchmark again.
But I personally like Tom Brady in this game. I'm not going to lie. He's that quarterback that's at 15,000 that I kind of am interested in.
The problem that I have is the Patriots are kind of, last year, coming into this year, the Patriots are kind of backtracking into being that team that wins games as a team, which there's nothing wrong with that. But they don't necessarily need the high-powered offense every game.
That's true.
And the way that their defense is playing, they can put up a lot of points without him having to do a whole.
That's what happened last week. I mean, Ridley ended up having a big game, but who else on that offense really stood out? It was all that defense.
Yep.
Thanks a lot, Seth. Seth had their defense. Sorry.
Thanks a lot, Seth.
It was his fault.
Let's move on to a game that will feature quite a bit of defense. Has one of the lowest over-unders of the weekend. San Francisco and Arizona. I only have written down one name. Actually, I have two, but one name that I'm really targeting here. My one rule of the fantasy season, I've said it a million times, is target tight ends against Arizona. They're the worst in the league against tight ends, and nobody can explain why. Every single week they get torched. Vernon Davis up this week.
Don't like it because he's been in a cast all week.
He might not play.
Okay,
yeah, so
again, you're right. He left that game with what they thought was a serious injury. Turns out it wasn't serious, but yeah, could play. But if he does play, he's got the best matchup on the board. It really is.
Yeah, I can agree with that. And we all know that he has the potential to put up a lot of points and get in the end zone a couple times. We've seen that several times over the past couple years. But, yeah, I think you're right. I mean, if you're looking at the people that are out there, everybody's hovering around 10,000 or above that is possibly worth taking.
Yep.
And there's other guys that can have big value that are in more favorable matchups. It's just tough. I think Andre Ellington could have a really good game. I do.
I just don't touch this game based on the fact that these two are bitter rivals.
They're going
right
to beat
now.
the crap out of each other.
And this division is at the top of its game right now. So, I mean, both of these defenses are going to be out there trying to prove that they are the better defense. I think you're going to see a really low-scoring game.
Well,
I think this goes under.
We also don't know the status of Carson Palmer right now.
Yep.
Yeah, we got to
throws a wrench into the whole
Has anybody
thing.
figured out what his injury is yet?
I think it's his shoulder. Yeah, it's his shoulder.
Did it just it must have happened in practice, right? Because he played week one fine. He didn't really seem to get beat up in week one.
I think it's a nerve thing, actually.
That's not good. Those can usually end careers.
It could be. It could either be something that he comes back really quick from or hangs around for a while that he can re-injure. So we'll just have to see how it plays out. Hopefully he'll be in this game because we've got a team that is 2-0 that is kind of surprising people in a big divisional matchup.
Yeah, they can make a big Arizona can make a big statement if they win this game.
Absolutely.
Major statement.
But I think it's going to come from their defense. I don't think you should really be focused too much on the offensive players in this one.
All right, there's another game that I don't really like all that much from. It's KC and Miami. It's a 42 over-under. The one glaring thing I like from this game is obviously Niall Davis, who will be taking over for Jamal Charles, who apparently they still won't give actual information on what his injury is.
I actually like Tannehill for this game. I think this is a good game for him.
At 15,000?
I think it's a really good matchup. I think he could end up throwing a few touchdowns.
So you like him more than the same guys that are at 15, like Josh McCown and Tom Brady? You like him better,
I like him more than
both?
McCown, and I think what Zach said about the offense in New England has to be taken pretty heavily there. I think that they're a total package team. I don't think
you're not worried that they have no run game in Miami right now, none. Lamar Miller is hampered as well. He missed practice.
They've been running the ball a heck of a lot more, and Moreno being out kind of threw a wrench in their plans. They weren't going to run the ball on Buffalo. I'm sorry. I just had a hunch that there was no way they were going to run the ball on Buffalo in their home opener after all that's happened. So I don't really put a lot of stock in that performance. I'm not completely sold on Lamar Miller, but at the same time, he's going to get the bulk of the carries. But Ryan Tannehill, on the other hand, he actually has a really good chance to come back home and re-solidify
Niall
himself.
Davis and RB1 this week. He needs to be in all lineups.
Oh, yeah. There are a bunch of guys who are kind of like Ahmad Bradshaw, Niall Davis, Bobby Rainey. You got to get these cheap guys in there at running back.
Definitely.
Gets a lot of value, allows you to put the top guys in. Come after the break, we are breaking down the rest of the contest for Week 3 on StarFantasyLeagues.com. And you're listening to the Star Fantasy League Show on 105.5 The Team.
You're listening to the Star Fantasy League Show. Contact the StarFantasyLeagues.com guys via Twitter at SFL Show.
We are back, and we are not yet done breaking down Week 3 contests. But before we do that, I got to give you a bonus offer, right? Don't I have to just give these listeners money?
You keep doing it, so I guess.
All right, if you want to play daily fantasy football on StarFantasyLeagues.com, you got to use the bonus code FREE14, FREE14. It's a 100% deposit bonus to $2,000 and an $11 free credit in your account.
If you have it out for Adrian Peterson because of what he's doing to your season-long league like I do, Get in on the action of daily fantasy because you're not going to have to worry about that.
You won't have to worry about picking them. It'll be great.
That was so sad.
Yeah, it was a little depressing. All right.
Thanks a lot.
Let's move away from depressing. Let's talk about depressing for Peyton Manning. He's going to have flashbacks in this game. He's playing Seattle. It's going to be an interesting game.
Why did this game get scheduled in Seattle again? I'm really confused.
This is what, the third?
This is the
third?
I think it's the fifth time this has happened where the two Super Bowl teams played each other in the next season. I just don't understand. Why does Seattle get the advantage here?
Because
I
they
don't
won
like
the
it.
Super Bowl?
Oh, that's great. That's cool. So they win, so give them more of an advantage. I don't know. I don't touch anybody in this game now.
I'm all over this game.
Okay, so we have both sides of this, not touching this game and all. I want to hear all over this game. Who do you got?
I have Demaryius Thomas as an absolute shoo-in
Are you serious?
for his value in this game. Why? A multitude of reasons. He's going to fly under the radar. Nobody's going to be looking at him.
Except for the Seattle defense.
For that matter, in GPPs, he will be of extreme value. His value has dropped significantly over the past couple weeks because he hasn't performed that well out of the gate. Wes Welker is back. He becomes the slot guy who always stretches the field for Demaryius Thomas. We haven't seen Richard Sherman shutting down any number one stars so far this season.
Because he's not guarding them.
I also love Percy Harvin. The over-under in this game is over 50.
49, but you sure?
Fine. I love it.
I don't. I think you're stretching on.
I
all
think
of
I'm going to
those.
be laughing all the way to the bank.
All right, you're stretching hard. They're not going to be able to hear anything.
Hold on, Zach
that
went into
field.
full talking head.
Where
Zach
is
on that.
Demaryius Thomas ranked among wide receivers right now on Star Fantasy Leagues? Tell me that right now.
Probably not the top 10. I'm gonna assume not the top 10.
He is absolutely in the top 10.
Is he really? Wow, that's surprising.
Fine. He is.
Why would you do
I've got
that?
him at 5th this
Oh,
week.
well, I think you're really reaching here.
Personally,
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about it on Monday when I'm right again.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
Personally, I like Percy in this game.
That's fine. I would like Percy.
I love Percy.
I would like Percy a heck of a lot more than Demaryius Thomas because they're not going to be able to hear anything on that field.
That might be true. All right, we got
They're
to
not going to hear a thing.
All right, we got to get through these last two games really quickly.
That doesn't keep Peyton Manning from raining bombs.
Oh my God.
Sure. All right, Pittsburgh, my team against Carolina. Pittsburgh is not going to win again this season, are they? They do not look. They make me. That last game, they made me look really.
Oh my God.
I felt
You were
really
just
bad.
such a
Who are they playing?
sourpuss.
They're playing at Carolina on Sunday night.
I don't
Carolina,
think
I
this, think this is that bad.
I think they're going to get crushed against Carolina.
Are you just throwing stuff?
Carolina
out there
doesn't
now?
put up really all that many
Are you-
points. So
you're just throwing it all away, aren't you?
No, I'm serious. I think defensively they're going to absolutely shut them down. Carolina is an absolute force at home.
their defense has been really good.
really good.
Top 5 defense again.
Their front seven has been really good. Their pass defense has not been that good. And Ben Roethlisberger will be throwing the ball.
to
Okay.
to Antonio Brown
Oh my God!
repeatedly.
You're just hating because your team is 1-1. You're just throwing all sorts of miracle plays out there. I don't understand anything that's going on right now.
This might be the most backwards show we've ever done.
That's not true.
I just don't get what you're
I
saying.
don't understand how you don't like Demaryius Thomas.
Because he's not going.
All right, I'm glad we didn't get to it the last game, Chicago, New York, because I was going to say I actually considered putting Geno Smith in if Eric Decker was healthy.
Did you see what Phillip Rivers did to the Seahawks defense? He'll
At
be-
home in San Diego.
Oh, they'll
my
be
God.
just fine.
This is one of the best arguments we've ever had, and it's going to get cut off because we're done with the show. Play on StarFantasyLeagues.com for Week 3. You get a 100% deposit bonus of $2,000 with the bonus code FREE14 and an $11 credit. Are we going to continue this fight tomorrow, guys, on the Weekend Fantasy Focus?
Who won the Super Bowl?
Oh, my God.
Why are they playing at home? Why are they playing in Seattle?
Why are they playing in Seattle?
because they won the Super Bowl.
All right, if you guys have absolutely no idea why Denver has to travel to Seattle after they lost the Super Bowl, contact Roger Goodell. He must know something, right? Take it easy, guys.
Wrong.